body? When is the body handed over to the parents for cremation?
Well, let's kindly have this
Could you just
note
tell
that
us
I've given.
what
Just
time is the body handed over to the parents for cremation? 1 second.
Around 3:30.
30:10.
No.
Therefore, one thing is very clear. The body is handed over to the parents for cremation at 8:30 p.m. The FIR is registered at 11:45 p.m. 3 hours and 15 minutes after the body is handed over to the parents for cremation.
Well, they refuse to file. Well, this is the problem. We handed it over. They filed the FIR. They made the complaint at 11:45. They say, we are in shock. Please do whatever you want to do. They wanted a post-mortem. We did the post-mortem. All is videographed. Everything is videographed.
The autopsy and the post-mortem take place.
Between 1:45 to 4 p.m.
Now, between 1:45 and 4 p.m., the autopsy takes place, followed by the post-mortem.
The autopsy took place at 6 o'clock, not at.
Fair enough. That's all right. We'll take it as between 1 and 4 o'clock. It doesn't take place in 1 minute. It takes time.
Videograph.
1 second. Don't keep on interrupting.
They wanted a board. We constituted a board.
We are proceeding on the basis of Mr. Sibal's hypothesis that the autopsy and the post-mortem take place between 1 and 4:45 in the afternoon. Now,
Lordship, there is-
clearly, the autopsy would reveal that this is a case where a doctor has been murdered, where she has been murdered.
Yeah.
The FIR is registered at 11:45 in the night, Mr. Sibal.
Yeah.
And who was expected to
Yeah.
Nobody in the hospital registers the FIR. The father registers the. What was the principal or the vice principal? What were the authorities of the hospital doing?
No, they wanted a board. We constituted a board. They wanted a magistrate. We got the
You
magistrate.
don't need
They realized
time
that
for
murder has
registration
been
of
committed.
FIR. You don't need a medical board for
They are-
registration of FIR.
At the moment, Millers, what are we considering? We are considering, Millers, 2 or 3 things, as your lordship has put to me.
Not done.
How did these photographs reach the social media?
No, that's
I'll mention all this. How did these photographs reach the media? We have nothing to do with it.
No, let
because
us
we
not
ordered out
trivialize, my lord.
everything. People there took photographs, came in, took photographs and sent it. Number 2, Millers. Number 2, immediately, Millers, an unnatural death case, Millers, was started and an investigation was started. Your lordship may be right, Millers, why did it happen? But whatever the parents were doing, we were agreeing with that. We set up a board. We asked the magistrate to come, a judicial magistrate to be present. Everything was videographed. Everything was called.
Mr. Sibal, it is the
Application
obligation
was made
of the
before the Sialda
authorities
court.
of the hospital. The parents are not present in the hospital when the murder takes place.
Yes.
It's the obligation of the authorities of the hospital to register an FIR the moment they
2:45
realize.
it was done. 2:45 done. The letter was sent.
11:45 in the
No,
night.
2:45 letter was sent. Assistant superintendent sent a letter at 2:45 minutes. It's not 11:30. At 2:45 itself, we'll set out all this, Malaj. It's better we set it.
What we,
Lordships may give me 5 minutes, my lord,
Yes.
to further, my lord, to assist your lordships. My lord, first of all, Lord, let us not trivialize on this side, my lord, we are dealing with one incident, but your lordships are rightly looking at a larger picture. But we are dealing with, my lord, a young doctor, not only raped by a sexual pervert or perverts, but who was an animal-like instinct, who had an animal-like instinct, the way, my lord, the body was handled. Thereafter, my lord, I don't wish, my lord, to make this a political issue. I would request the state also not to be in a denial mode. 3 hours of the patient, parents waiting, my lord, is something we can experience if we put ourselves in that position. Now, my lord, so far as the safety is concerned, my lord, one thing I must bring to your lordship's notice. My lord, the doctors are genuinely, my lord, have a grievance. They are, my lord, they've lost one of their colleagues, my lord, globally. But, my lord, out of, my lord, all states, 23 states have legislations dealing with, my lord, what is called for, my lord, Kerala, my lord, so-and-so Medicare service persons and medical service institutions, prevention of violence and damage or loss to the property act. There are, my lord, I'll give, my lord, the list of acts. My lord, this also the National Task Force, my lord, can
the punishment which is provided under.
it's a cognizable, my lord, and
3 years.
3 years.
yes, my lord. It's cognizable, non-bailable, and punishment is 3 years. My lord, this is first. I'll, my lord, place it. The National Task Force, my lord, which our lordships contemplate, can, my lord, go into this, can even make suggestions, and it should be welcome, my lord. Lord, second thing, my lord, which is worrying us is this. Lord, even in a well-organized function, if we want the presence of 500 people in an auditorium, we all know we have to make efforts. 7,000 people at the middle of the night armed with lathis and hockeys, my lord, can never be without the knowledge, if not consent, of the police force. It's complete failure of law and order, my lord, in the entire state.
What time did the vandalization of the hospital take place?
Lord, midnight, it's at midnight, my lord.
I thought my
7,000
learned
people-
friend, he doesn't want to politicize the matter, my lord. Why is he saying all this?
Now,
Let's-
why this is, my lord, important.
We should be called upon. We'll tell you what happened.
Mr. Solicitor, what we'll do is that we'll.
One more aspect, one more aspect. Lord, and my lord, again, my learned friend may feel that this is, my lord, but this is directly related to the issue in question. Lord, the West Bengal has an in-charge DIG.
In
Lord,
charge?
in-charge DIG, Director General of Police, who is already being charged and being my lord, considered by your lordships for having fabricated or otherwise dealt with the evidence in Sharda scam case. My lord, your lordship's
Calcutta
direction
police
in
doesn't come under DGP.
Mr.
Calcutta police doesn't come under DGP. Why are you saying all this?
What this has to do
Lord,
then.
Director
Kolkata
General
police.
of Police
This has nothing
is
to
an
do with
in-charge DGP.
Charge
Lord,
of-
let someone else be the
This is
in-charge.
what is happening.
Let them choose, but not the man who is already accused
This is the kind of
having-
misinformation we're having, my lord.
This is
And,
This is nothing to do, this is a
nothing to do.
only a minute.
Supreme Court is hearing the RG Kaur medical horror and extremely scathing arguments that are going on, even with the CGI coming out and remarking. And just a short while back, you heard the CGI asking the state, why did it take so long to file the FIR? Let's go back to what's happening in the Supreme Court.
But whatever your lordships will say, we will do. We are not, Malad, this is not adversarial, as I said. Malad, just give me just 1 minute. I just handed over something to your lordship. Just have a look at it, Malad.
Depends on
Just
the.
give it to my lord. Three
Can I
copies
only
that I hand.
All right, Mr. Sibal, we'll just hear the solicitor for a minute. He just wants a minute.
All
and then
Lord, I just, my lord, I want this, my lord.
Your Lordship,
Lord,
may I
an
just submit?
in-charge DG who is already a tainted officer in an affidavit filed before this court should be replaced by any other in-charge DG of their choice.
Malad, just have this.
Another,
We have
my lord.
set, we have set out what is in the media and we have set out the reality.
No, share it with
For-
all of us.
We will share it, don't worry.
No.
Kolkata police informed the family members that the present case
No,
was
they
a
are
case
in
of
a
suicide.
denial.
False.
No,
False.
another aspect.
At no
Lord,
time did
ask
the
for
police give
judgment.
this
Yeah,
information.
presently, what we propose to do is, we'll indicate what the broad parameters of our intervention in this matter consists of. We'll just pronounce it very shortly. For one thing, Mr. Sibal, we are very, very concerned. Let not the power of the state of West Bengal be unleashed on peaceful protesters.
Malad, I give to your,
Lord,
we have
why-
videos of
Without
all
protest,
that
it is
happened.
unleashed.
People, whether they are doctors, civil society, lawyers, people who are protesting, so long as there's no act of destruction of.
We have videos. We agree,
Let there not be the power of the state unleashed. on
agree.
Peaceful protest.
Malad, I agree, and that has not
No,
happened.
no.
1 second. We have videos which we have placed, which we'll place before your lordship.
Likewise-
And Malad, what happens is political parties get into the act and this is what happens.
People who are taking